touch.
The American embassy in Israel has authorized non-essential staff and their families to leave the country over safety risks. It's urging them to get out whilst commercial flights are still available. Whilst in Iran, the British government says it's temporarily withdrawn its staff due to concerns over the security situation there. The US is ramping up its military presence in the Middle East with the arrival of the USS Gerald R. Ford, that's the carrier strike group. Washington has also sent a dozen stealth F-22 fighter jets and at least 9 aerial tankers. On the diplomatic front, nuclear talks are due to continue in Vienna next week. That's after discussions between the US and Iran, mediated by Oman, in Geneva. They showed signs of progress, but no major breakthrough. President Trump says the talks are not getting the results that he wants.
鉴于伊朗当前安全形势，外交部和中国驻伊朗使领馆27号提醒中国公民暂勿前往伊朗，在当地中国公民加强安全防范，尽快撤离。中国驻伊朗及其周边国家使领馆将为中国公民通过商业航班或陆路转移提供必要协助。
Well, they should make a deal, but they don't want to quite go far enough, and it's too bad. Look, we've been playing with them for 47 years, and that's a long time. They've been blowing the legs off our people, blowing the face off our people, the arms. They've been knocking out ships one by one. I mean, every month there's something else, so you can't put up with it too long. We're not happy with the negotiation. They just don't want to. They don't want to say the key words. We're not going to have a nuclear weapon. They have to say we're not going to have a nuclear weapon, and they just can't quite get there. They want to enrich a little bit. You don't have to enrich when you have that much oil. So I'm not happy with the negotiation. I say no enrichment. Not 20%, 30%. They always want 20%, 30%. They want it for civilian, for civil. I think it's uncivil. So I'm not happy with it, no.
How close are you to making a decision on strikes?
I'd rather not tell you. You would have had the greatest scoop in history, right? Well, they're going. I mean, we're negotiating right now, but they're not getting to the right answer. And we're not going to see people. We're not going to see what's happened for 47 years keep going. 47 years we've been doing this with them. The Obama deal was the worst deal. Nobody ever saw a deal so stupid.
No, I'm not. I'm not happy with the fact that they're not willing to give us what we have to have. So I'm not thrilled with that. We'll see what happens. We're talking later. We'll have some additional talks today. But no, I'm not happy with the way they're going. But we haven't made a final decision. We're not exactly happy with the way they're negotiating. They cannot have nuclear weapons, and we're not thrilled with the way they're negotiating. So we'll see how it all works.
For Iran, is there a risk that strikes could turn into a long, drawn-out conflict in the Middle East?
I guess you could say there's always a risk. When there's war, there's a risk in anything, both good and bad. We've had tremendous luck with myself, Soleimani, al-Baghdadi. Everything's worked out, and then we do the Midnight Hammer and so many others. Everything's worked out, and we want to keep it that way, but we're going to see. Look, it'd be wonderful if they'd negotiate really in good conscience, good faith and conscience, but they are not getting there. So far, Peter, they're not getting there.
And has your team told you that if you use the military now, that there will be regime change right away?
No, nobody's told me that. You don't know. I mean, nobody knows. There might be and there might not be. It'd be nice if we could do it without, but sometimes you have to do it with. When you looked at look, we have the greatest military anywhere in the world. There's nothing close. I'd love not to use it, but sometimes you have to.
A number of countries have urged their nationals to withdraw from Iran, including UK, Canada, and India. So a war seems to be imminent. So does the Secretary General has any more comments on the situation?
Well, I mean, we're seeing both, I would say, positive messages come out of the diplomatic track, which we're continuing to encourage. We're also seeing very worrying military movements throughout the region, which is extremely concerning as well. These are two potential tracks, clearly. We encourage everyone to focus on the diplomatic track.
播报新闻是我的日常，必须时刻保持妆容和皮肤的最佳状态。当来到人生中最重要的时刻，也是 KS 逆时奇迹帮助我轻松驾驭，闪闪发光。KS 逆时奇迹活肤露全效精华、精华霜，多达5种 EGF 6大冻龄关键成分，保湿效果让我非常满意，小细纹也不再困扰我。我就是我自己的最佳女主角。KS 让我从容自信，光彩动人。我是我人生中的大女主，我的最爱我做主。KS 逆时奇迹系列热卖中，下单请上快点购，透过中天新闻网 App 下单立减50，或输入 CTI 推荐码有额外折扣。